What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. It's Maisha Edmond, licensed cosmetologist in the state of New York. I am also a certified trichologist here in New York, as well as digitally all over the world. Amen. Did I say amen? What? So excited to be here today. It is December 14th. And guess what? Hey, Sadaria. Guess what? It's time for you to strategize your 2023. Time for you to strategize your 2023. I believe that if you do not have goals, or if you show me your list of goals and there's nothing there, I can show you where you're going, right? So I want you to get ready to begin to strategize, begin to imagine what your 2023 is looking like and what it's going to look like. If you can share this live, I would be so grateful, because there is somebody that needs this information. And so I'm super excited about helping trichologists get to the next level as it concerns, or as it relates to our trichology practices, right? Because I always say trichology is not cookie cutter. It is not something that as a business person that you can really just etch out based on someone else. It has to have your own personality, your own fingerprint on it, as well as the actual trichology itself. It is not cookie cutter, right? You have to be able to etch out whatever your clients need, right? Because not everybody is the same. And so I wanted to chat a little bit about strategy for 2023 in general, a bit of housekeeping. I do have strategy sessions available. I have 3 left for the end of the year. So if you know somebody that needs one, if you are somebody that needs one, by all means, go ahead and book your strategy session today. I have 3 slots open for strategy sessions. As a matter of fact, I was like, how can I do this? If you know another trichologist and you don't mind sharing your space with them, you can also book only up to 4 people. You can book, and you guys can like come up with a little something so that you guys can share a strategy session. So if that's something that you want to do, especially if you have like a partner or something like that, that would be cool as well, right? So I'm excited about that. Also, VIP strategy days are available. You'll be with me for 4 to 6 hours, digitally or in person. So you can really get your whole trichology business life together. And then finally, beginning on January 2nd, 2023, is the group mentorship. It is 12 weeks. Case studies will be in person this round. And so it's going to be absolutely amazing. You get to come to New York, or I will, I don't know, I'm trying to see, but definitely I have a place here for you to come. Absolutely luxurious. It exemplifies what I consider the trichology lifestyle. And so I will be doing that either here or in another destination, depending on how many people we have. So that's going to be really good. And if you like, girl, I don't really got time for all that, and I need to work with you one-on-one, and I don't have 12 weeks, but I want to break it down to 6 weeks, then I do have one-on-one coaching or mentorship for you as well. Now let's get into it, right? I am live on Instagram, trichology_911. I'm also live on Facebook. Today, I might not get that many views on Facebook because I've decided to go live from Trichology 911 on Facebook, which I never, ever do. I usually go on my personal page, but I'm making some shifts, right? I am strategizing for 2023. So I'm okay with talking to myself over here until I can get that momentum that I need. I'm also live on YouTube. So super excited about that. If you've not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. I don't know what to do with it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be absolutely amazing. Let's talk about strategy in 2023. Once again, share this with your people, your enemies, your friends, your loved ones, all of them, right? Because everybody needs some strategy. I wrote down a few laws. I created and repurposed a few laws, and I call them the 10 laws of trichology. I'm going to go ahead and touch on 3 laws that I deem important for trichology business for me. And so I want to share them with you. The first law I'm going to look at is the law of first look. The law of first look. The law of first look in trichology is based on presentation. Presentation is everything. Now, you'll see that I don't have any curls in my hair, and you might see that I don't even have any makeup on. I just got a little something on these lips, right? But I knew that I could not just roll up in these internet streets with my hair standing on top of my head, my big lips chapped, and not try to present a certain persona, if you will, because I know that I know that the law of first look, that presentation is everything, right? And that is how I show up on the internet, how I show up in my business as a business person, how I show up in person in the clinic or the salon, right? So when you look at first look, it is presentation is everything in self, social, and office, right? Self, social, and office. I'm gonna look over to the side because I have notes. I got a big giant board up here. So it is really a big deal for you to make sure that your presentation is everything. How do you want to be looked at? How do you want to be received? Because the truth of the matter is that if you don't have, hey Mikey, if you do not have a good first look, I don't care what you say, right? There's some people that will pass you up just by how you look. And I know you're saying, people shouldn't be shallow and, all that other stuff. But a strategy for 2023 for you is to remember the law of first look. Presentation in every area, yourself, your office, even your social media. So in self, we look at your look, right? Your presentation in your language and your presentation in learning. Okay, I think this is a little deep, right? The look, right? So you have your overall something like I have something that I call the KC, the killer casual, right? It is something that you can grab. You know that there is something that you always look really good in. If it's a hat, if it's a pair of glasses, if it's some earrings, if it's a favorite lipstick shade, if it is a shawl, if it is something that you literally can throw together, make it look like $1,000,000 and you really look like a bum underneath, it's okay. So when you look at your look, you look at your killer casual, you're looking at those things that's really going to make you look like you got it together. You want to pull that thing together regardless of how you feel, because your look, your language, and your learning, right? Also in your language, there are certain things that you're just not going to say in business. There are certain things as a trichologist that you're not going to say. We're not going to be calling clients bald headed. We're not going to be talking about your edges snatched and all that other stuff. It really depends on, and I'm not saying don't be real, but it really depends on how you are willing to, how much do you want to make? Strategy in 2023 as a trichologist. First law of first look, right? Presentation is everything. And we're talking about now the language. How do you want to be paid? How much do you want to be paid? I would guarantee you that a person that's talking to clients or potential clients like, oh, hey, good morning, Kimbra, if you're saying, oh, your edges is out and you got bald spots and all that, they're not getting paid as much as a person that is willing to extend their language and to say, you have traction alopecia, that is excessive, that's shedding, or that is the minimization of your hairline and blah, 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 right? Where you look to extend or expand your language. So that's going to be a big deal. Also in your learning, right? Because what you learn comes out. We're still talking about strategy in 2023, right? Strategy for 2023 for trichologists and, hair loss professionals, right? You really have to look at the fact that you have to start to learn more. Start to connect with people that are in a place where you want to be. Start to learn some things that would really help you to expand your business and your impact, right? Next is social. Next is social. So your consistency is big for 2023. Your consistency is big for 2023. Now, why do I say this? There's a lot of murmuring on the streets, right? Internet streets, and in economics and finance that talks about the oncoming recession, right? Now, when you know what you know, right? You can position yourself in a way that recession won't touch you, right? But consistency is going to be one of those ways to really position yourself, especially as a trichologist, right? You look at the fact that you're going to have people that are stressed out, people that are saying, I can't, do this, I can't afford that, afford this and that. And so what happens is they begin to stress out. Then they start losing their hair. They're trying to figure out what to do. You being consistent, you being a constant voice, maybe on the internet, or a constant voice in the community, as far as educating people about hair loss and stress and all those different things, are going to make you a mainstay. And it's going to be a strategy for 2023 for you, because you will be able to present yourself as a solution to something as simple as hair loss, and you will still be able to be maintained. Do I make sense? I hope I make sense, right? The next thing is your frequency, right? So frequency is different than your consistency, right? So your consistency is that, hey, I'm going to come on every single day, right? But then, or I'm going to post every single day, but then your frequency is how many times a day you're going to do it, right? So we already know that, like, for Instagram, if that's your place, then like 3 to 5 times is going to keep you in the front or in the eyes of the people that you want to get to, right? But what if that is not your area? What if that's not your area, right? Then you need to find out. You need to look at the statistics and the analytics. Should I be on LinkedIn? Should I be on Facebook? Should I be on TikTok? Should I be on Instagram? Should I be on Snapchat? Where do you need to be? And I want you to learn that and maximize that. There are places that people don't even think about, right? That maybe you should be on. And that would give you a better a better chance of really being somebody that is needed and not just wanted, right? So you can go into an area on social media, or you can go into an area even in your community and really show up. And because no one else has dared to do that thing, you can do that. So if that is buying $100 ticket to NAACP dinner or some kind of a country club luncheon or whatever, and you are the only trichologist, hair loss professional there, then that's where you need to sit. And then people begin to see you. Oh, isn't that the lady with the clinic? Isn't that the lady that knows about hair loss and stress? Isn't that the lady that knows about, ABC, or the man that knows about such and such? And so those things, you want to put yourself in places that everybody is not. So if everybody's going to the left, I'm going to the right, right? And everybody's staying on the ground, I'm going to the top. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. Let's talk about office, right? So the law of first look as it relates to your office, right? What is the flow in your office? Does it look cluttery? Does it look crazy? Is it dirty? Stuff all over the place, stuff out of order, bottles dirty, stuff just look missing. You don't even pull the stuff up on the front of the shelf, right? So you see a shelf behind me over here on Instagram, pulling your stuff up to your shelf, making sure that your displays are what they need to be. That's going to be a really big thing. Also, the feel, right? People talk about vibe a lot, but that's a real thing, right? What is the feel? How does it make people feel to come into your office, right? So with that is, what does it smell like, right? Does it look cold? Does it, because if it does, then guess what? It definitely is going to deter people from coming. It's kind of like, oh, I got to come to the trichologist, right? So they are just like, a mess, right? And then next you have your setup, your systems. Your systems are a look. The systems that you have in place are a look for you. So when I talk about the law of first look, even your systems, that is your onboarding, when people go onto your website, when people fill out forms, when people get the initial email, the systems that you have in place when they come into the salon or clinic, right? They come in the door. Is there a place for them to hang their coat? Are you greeting them, or are you just sitting at your desk? Come on in. I've done that. Are is there water available? Is it jazz, aromatherapy? What is going on with that? So that's going to be a big, big thing. That was the law of first look. Next thing is, which I really love, is the law of production. Law of production for me is keeping 10 developed ideas in the pipeline, right? To present at any time. And this is going to be very easy. You're going to take one thing and you present it in 3 to 5 ways, right? Then you add, what happens is you add or you subtract to make the increased or decreased version of the original presentation. Let me say that again. Law of production, you're going to keep 10 developed ideas in the pipeline so that you can present them at any time. So basically, you take one idea and you present it in 3 to 5 different ways, right? So basically, how you do that is you're going to increase or decrease whatever is in that one offering to make it more or less, so that you'll have a few different ways to do that. And if you do 2 ideas, right? If you do 2, that's 10 things, right? So what does that look like? If I am presenting a free list, okay? I'm doing a free list, and it's going to be 5 things that you need to know about stress and hair loss. Since I've been talking about stress and hair loss. 5 to 10 things, 5 things that you need to know about stress and hair loss, right? And it's a free list, and all you have to do is give me your email and download it. Right? You download it and you have it. I'll take that same list and I'll make an ebook. I'll take that same ebook and I'll make a video. I'll take that same video and I'll make a masterclass. I'll take that same masterclass and I'll make a full seminar. I'll take that same full seminar and I'll make it a stretched out boot camp where I really delve into each point, right? So I went from an email list to an ebook to a video that people could just kind of like look at and see me, do, to a master class, which is just one day, to a full out seminar or seminar series. And then finally, or if not a seminar series, like a boot camp or something that lasts like 5 weeks, right? So boom, right? And then there's like so many other things to do with that. So it's like, don't rack your brain about how you're going to have all these different things. You don't have to keep making up stuff, right? It's the same stuff. If the information was good anyway, then there are going to be different people that learn differently. So then you present it in the different ways that those different people can consume that information. Does that make sense? So, you might get a few people that want the free list, but then they get the list and they're like, oh, that's good, but they don't know what to do with it. But then you have the ebook and then you just kind of like stretch it out, like, okay, well, this is what you do with these 5 things. But then it's like, okay, I like that, but I don't really like to read. But if you give me the video, then you explain the same thing from the ebook in the video and you let them know da 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 da, and you might be able to show it, right, on the video. And then it's like, okay, well, I want a masterclass because I want to be able to ask questions. I don't want to just consume it. I want to interact. So then there's that masterclass. And then when I go to the seminar series, it's kind of like, okay, so these are the 5 things, but we're going to work through them every time I do this, do a class on each section, right? And then if you have the boot camp, then you may want to add in ebooks and workbooks and different things that will help them to really develop whatever that idea is. And so you want to do that even in trichology, right? So, the client goes from, okay, well, I need to know these 5 things about stress and hair loss, but then I have at the very end a 5 to 6 week boot camp that allows allows the client to learn how to do these 5 different things effectively to reduce stress and to increase hair growth, right? Whether that's me showing up to show them how to eat properly, how to clean the gut, how to relax, you know, uh, challenges within that. So that is going to be a really big thing for you, right? And so that's the law of production, making sure that you keep 10 developed ideas in the pipeline to present at any time. You never want to be trying to figure out what you're going to present today for today. That stuff should have already been done, and that's the purpose of strategy, right? Because you want to strategize, you want to make sure that you see the thing afar off before it gets to where you are today. So you want to do it now. Do it now. So when January the 14th comes, right? You can say, oh, well, I already had that in place, right? Like my birthday is January 15th, right? That's a Sunday, but I'm already working on what I'm going to be presenting for my birthday, you know, stuff like that, right? The last one is the law of foresight. Last is the law of foresight, right? Which is preparation for future tasks to give room for on the spot moves, right? So listen to this. Listen to this. The law of foresight says that you prepare right now for future tasks, kind of what I was just touching on, so that you can make room for on the spot moves. So like trichology content planning, but so it's basically like this. I will I will prepare for future stuff. Okay. That would be like if I have Plannerly or something like that to create my posts, right? I'm creating posts. I have posts in queue already. I'm going to be talking about this in January. I'll be talking about this in February, right? But then if something comes up like a breaking story or like a verses and something that you can use and relate it to trichology, you literally can make that on the spot change right then, because you already were ready. You already got your stuff together. So if you need to make a tweak for on the spot, you can do that. You don't have to brainstorm to try to figure out what this thing is going to be and how you're going to show up. You have already made preparation for future tasks. You've already set up, okay, these are going to be my templates for January. This is what I'm going to be talking about in January. This is how I'm going to show up in January. These are the things that I'm going to offer in January. These are going to be the prices. This is how many people I want to touch. These are how many people I want to influence. These are how many people, these are how many products I want to sell. You have all that stuff because once it's set up, now you just have it in queue. You have it in queue. So if something unexpected happens, you can flow with it because you've already got a plan in place. So that is the law of foresight. So first look, production and foresight. First look, production and foresight. So you want the law of first look is presentation in every area. You want to make sure that you are showing up in every area because presentation is everything. Presentation and that appearance is going to be the key to access. Your appearance is going to be, hey, Dream Beauty, your appearance is going to be the key to access, right? It's going to be the key to access because if you, let's be honest, if we looked how we felt, we would never get people to come into our clinics, our salons. Thank you for sharing. We would never get people to come in. We would never get people to be able to come in. Hey, Nat, we would never be able to get people to come in and to subscribe to what we are offering. I was on TikTok last night and I saw a girl who she said she's a trichologist. Now I'm not sipping because I'm being shady. Okay, I was thirsty. But she said she was a trichologist, and I believe her. Listen, if you tell me you're a trichologist, hey, you know, so be it, right? But she was on this live, and you know, it was such a sad. She was live on TikTok, so she had enough people to follow her to be live on TikTok, but it was sad, girl. I know you laughing, but it was sad. She was just kind of like, and I've been abused and I just, and the Lord told me and I just had to, and I had to just get out of there because, but she was talking about also hair loss, and she also was talking about how people needs people, the other trichologists be lying to the people, and when they lie to the people, and I got pictures, and I can make your hair grow and all that other stuff. Well, number one, I feel like, and this is just me, but ain't nobody got time for all that. All of this weeping and crying and all that other stuff. Now I understand, being passionate about something and being emotional and all that other stuff. But I feel like trichology, I feel like hair loss is already like a thing. It's already like kind of heavy. So when people come in and they are when people come in and they're already like sad and they're already like, stressed out, you up there weeping and crying and I was abused and I had to get away from that relationship, girl, because I'm telling you right now, the Lord told me, he told me to run and I ran. And it's like, girl, do that in the clinic with the people when you get a little connection and then you feel like you need to share something with them. But for you to be out here and everybody's lying, they stealing your money and they ain't growing no hair. But I got receipts, honey, and I'll just be showing the people how to grow their hair back and all this other stuff and this and then you buy my product because I'm gonna help you. It's like, come on, boo, like please. So this is the thing. This is the thing, right? When I talk about the law of first look, when I'm talking about strategy in 2023, can we look at our presentation in every area? Because if you that toe up and it's just beat up and just downtrodden and just so hurt, and you going through a lot, and you don't feel no ways tired, and you just coming up the rough side of the mountain, I would propose that you work that out before you get on live. I'm just saying, because like I said, hair loss is already something that's very heavy. So you coming in and you sad and they sad and and we just sad and we hugging and all that other stuff, and it's kind of like, nah, I'm good. Right. So law of first look is your presentation. I also spoke about the law of production. That law of production, keeping 10 developed ideas in the pipeline, right? So that you can present it at any time. You have different kinds of clients and potential customers, right? There's going to be somebody that likes to just get a list. There'll be somebody that needs an ebook. Somebody don't want to read. They want a video. They don't want just a video. They want to ask you questions. They don't want to just ask questions. They want to see you in person. They don't want to just see you in person. They want to do a boot camp. And you should have all those things. You can develop all that from one idea. How do you know what to stretch out like that? If you cannot talk about a thing, 5 things about a thing, then it's not worth talking about. So that's one of the things that I always look at is even when I use my LBOs, which is my live broadcast outlines, right? I look at those and I'm like, listen, if I can't talk about this thing, if I can't extract 5 different things about it, it's not worth me talking about. Why? Because I don't have enough substance. So it either means that there's nothing there or I have not studied. So maybe I should go back and really research and study that area so that I have more to talk about. Is it something that I need to develop? Maybe it's something that's too shallow, right? And like, why would I talk 5 things about a shoestring? You could tie it, you could twist it, it could be in a knot. You could like, why? You know what I'm saying? But if it's something worth talking about, and guess what? If you do that, you don't have to worry about, oh, somebody else is talking about this. Somebody else is doing it too. Because guarantee 9 out of 10, the people that you're watching, they're really not studying. They're really not researching that area. And so if you delve in and get 5 things to talk about one area, you will definitely make yourself more of an expert in that area. And you'll be able to stretch out those things, and you'll be able to use that law of production, taking that one idea, stretching it out to 3 to 5 things that you can use and present. and that would be really good. And the last one that I was going to that I touched on today was the law of insight, the foresight. The law of foresight is saying preparation for your future tasks to give you room for on the spot moves. It is your preparation for future tasks to give yourself some room for that on the spot move. What does that look like? So if I have already put together my what I'm going to post in January. I have my templates. I know what I'm going to talk about. I have my 30 things that I'm going to talk about, 31 things, because there's 31 days in January. I have a fact for each of these things. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go live. I'm going to talk about this. I'm only going to be on live for about 15 minutes, blah, blah, blah. You do all of that now so that when something comes up, like, oh, there was a plane crash, or there somebody had a versus, or whatever, you can just on the spot weave that into what you already have. You're not struggling trying to figure out how you are going to come up with content or have something to present. Get your calendar out. Look at the major days for the year, right? What major dates and events are coming up in January, right? So my birthday is a major holiday, baby. Okay. I mean, not because it is though, because it's Martin Luther King's birthday. That's January 15th. Okay. But also, I know that there may be certain things that I want to talk about, right? So if I wanted to use Martin Luther the King, right, then I would say, okay, then he said I have a dream, right? So what do you dream about? So now I'm going to flip this to trichology. What do you dream about? What is your dream hair look like? What is your dream hairstyle look like? Can you achieve that dream hairstyle? Does your hair feel like a dream? Or are you living in a nightmare? If it's a nightmare, then I can help you live in your dream for healthy hair and scalp care. You see what I did right there? You see what I did right there? Right. So what happens is now I have a dream or dream hair package, right? So I have the shampoo that you need, the conditioner that you need. I have the things that you need to eat. I have the schedule. I have all those things because I've already prepared today. So when it starts to drop and I say it's coming the whole week before, then on January 15th, I make it go live. Everybody starts to buy it. What did I do? I projected, I prepared, I made money, I've influenced people. And guess what? I'm ready for the next thing. I'm going to February. I'm talking about love, right? If you love your hair, if it's all about self-care, it's about self-love. Do you love your hair? If you really loved your hair, you wouldn't use these 5 products. But if you loved your hair, you would do this, this, and this. Come into the clinic and get this done. I'm doing this treatment especially for you on February 14th. Come in and get this treatment and blah, 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 save 14%. See what I did there? See what I did there? All right. So, so there are different things that we need to do to strategize for 2023. I'm super excited for you. If you are in school, keep going. Do not stop. If you are almost done with school, keep going and do not stop. If you just got out of school, keep going and do not stop. Because I'm telling you, without a strategy, without a goal, without plans, you will stop. I've done it. I quit 7 times, but I'm back. And that was like in the beginning, I was quitting, child. I could have had a trophy in quitting. If quitting was an Olympic event, I would definitely be a gold medalist because I was quitting. But I had to get tired of starting over. And so I want to encourage you to get a strategy for 2023. Make sure you have goals. You don't have a list of goals. Somebody say, hey, what are your goals? And you say, I don't have any. Then we pretty much can pinpoint where you are, who you are in trichology, and what your bank account looks like. So get you some goals. Start to brain dump and brainstorm, right? So I'm live here on Trichology 911 on Instagram, also live on Trichology 911 on Facebook, and I am live on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. Just a bit of housekeeping once again as I go. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming on. Listen, I have strategy sessions available, and guess what? If you go to the link in my bio, I should have put it in here, but if you go to the link in my bio, I'm not even going to do it. You can get it on Afterpay, right? So that's a blessing, right? So 4 payments, they're like 2 weeks out. each. You know what I'm saying? Take your time and pay it back. Pay them people, right? But come and get your strategy session. Super excited about that. Also, I have VIP days where you can be with me for 4 to 6 hours, whether it is digitally or it is in person. And that's really good. Also, January 2nd, 2023, we are starting strategy. We're starting group coaching. Group coaching 2023 starts on January the 2nd. It is going to be 12 weeks. And guess what? You are in case studies automatically. So you come to New York or wherever we have it. And we're going to do live case studies. It's going to be absolutely off the chain, and it is going to change your life. You will never be the same. You will never see Trichology the same. You're absolutely going to love it. And if you like, girl, I don't want to be in a group with people because I like to be, you know what I'm saying, by myself. And plus, I don't got 12 weeks. I want to do it in 6. Then you can do the one-on-one mentorship, and that is going to be absolutely amazing as well. So that's it. I hope I've encouraged you today. It's only 9:26 here in New York. So you got all day to get what you need to get done. Come up with a strategy. You need help with that strategy. I need you to book a strategy session today. I have 3 spaces left for 2023, and I want you to join me for a strategy session so that I can help you get the answers that you need. All right. Have a great day today. Happy hair growing.